Hey everybody! Welcome to a new episode. Who's that anime with your host Steve and Colin? We're here. We're doing it. We're talking about Golgo 13? Gol?
Yep.
Gol?
Golgo 13, the professional.
Golgo 13, the professional starer. He wins all the staring contests.
He does do a lot of staring and a lot of I guess weirdly detached lovemaking.
All staring.
Okay, I didn't think we'd get an episode title so soon, but
Weirdly detached lovemaking?
yeah, it's absolutely going to be that.
Alright. Fair enough. Yeah.
Classic.
We finished Gantz, which was last week.
Holy shit, we did finish
That
Gantz.
was a lot of staring as well. This has been
That was.
the season of staring, man.
And, unnecessary nudity.
And unnecessary nudity, yes. Unnecessary nudity and staring. That's the festive spirit right there.
Yeah, if ever there was one. That was it.
Yeah. 100%.
So, do you have any history with this movie, Colin?
I watched it. Ooh, I don't know. I think I was still at uni, so 20 years ago.
Okay.
That's how old I am.
Okay. I have no no history with this, with the exception of Jeff Gerstmann of formerly of Giant Bomb used to talk about, was it the NES game? Yeah, Golgo 13 on the NES.
Oh yeah. He had seemed to have a lot. It seemed to have a live action spin-off.
Oh
which
man,
but I don't think the people can do the staring justice.
No, I don't think anybody can. That needs to be animated, and by that I mean not animated.
You're like,
it needs to be a static image.
All it was. If you're looking at if you're watching this on the video that's on our YouTube channel, Who's That Anime? You'll notice the picture of Golgo 13 / Duke.
Duke Togo.
Just there with his gun, staring at you with his gun.
Yep.
And that's basically what he did for the good half hour of this movie.
I think that's generous. I feel like it's 90 minutes of this movie is mostly him just staring directly.
I know, maybe. I mean, it's a 90 minutes long movie.
Yeah. I guess he's not staring in the scenes he's not in.
And then he's he has speaking bits.
He does, and those are torture.
Yeah.
I might be leading the witness a little bit here, Colin, but I did not enjoy this movie.
Did you not enjoy this movie?
No, I did not.
Why did we watch it?
I read a lot about people's experiences with this movie, because I think this is one of those ones, particularly if you were a fan of anime and manga in the 80s, this would have been a huge deal. And I think that there are things that are very cool about this movie. There's a lot of really interesting cinematography, a lot of reflection shots, a lot of different angles and pans and things like that. It actually it's really well shot. I think it's well realized, but I think the story is dog shit and the character's boring.
Yeah, it's to be honest, it feels like one of those old action movies, like Steve McQueen type action, like Bullet and stuff. It was
a little bit.
Was it Bullet I was watching the other night? It was on TV, so I ended up watching it, and I was like, huh, all right. And then it had the car chase at the end, and it was not much really happened in this movie, and it was they end up passing the same beetle 5 times in the car chase in Bullet. And it's look, that's the same beetle. And then turns around the corner. Oh, look, the beetle's now overtaken them. Turns around another corner. And
it's the beetle again. It's just, I think somebody, I can't remember where I saw it, whether it was in a YouTube commentary or something like that, but somebody said it's this is a movie full of really cool ideas and interesting things, but it's not a good movie. And I think that's where I land on this. I think there's a lot to stylistically, and it is very like for 1983, really
Oh
impressive.
wow!
Um,
Especially
a fact I was going to say, are we going to talk about the
the
helicopters?
helicopters at the end.
It is the first ever use of CGI in an animated movie.
Was it actually the first? Because it was like
I believe so.
Jesus, what? That's CGI, and it doesn't look awful.
Uh,
It looks
so
dated, but it didn't look awful.
yes,
It's not like
first use of CGI in anime.
yeah. It's not. It didn't. It's not like it like Tron kind of like esque like line drawn type things, but it was like proper shaded polygons. I wouldn't say polygons, but it's probably not polygons on it.
Yeah.
Vector kind of graphics and the windows and stuff on the building because the tower got animated as well.
Somebody in a Reddit thread said that they reused this for the Spider-Man the animated series introduction in the 90s, and I was like, I don't know whether that's you being like, coy or just like that's like, are you serious? Did they reuse some of this CGI for that? It's like there is that weird helicopter bit, but I thought that was hand drawn. Never mind.
Yeah, yeah,
But then it was like, no, wait, it wasn't hand drawn. It was CGI.
yeah. The 90s Spider-Man has got some weird CGI in it.
Yeah. So I don't know. Seems like it's just a weird offhand joke. Maybe there's some truth to it. Who knows? But yeah, the movie's from 1983, and obviously it's based on like from what I can see, like a relatively long running manga series, that was very popular. In fact, it seems like at one point it had a Guinness World Record for the highest number of volumes for a manga series.
Oh wow, is that been overtaken now by probably One Piece?
I don't know. Well, oh, holy shit! It's 214 volumes. That is
How many is in One Piece?
I'll check just for posterity.
We need to know this answer.
Inquiring minds want to know.
Because there's over 1,000 episodes of One Piece.
There are 110 tankobon.
Wow.
So
how many episodes of Golgo 13 do you think they could have made then?
Too many?
Too many.
Yeah. It has like over 100 more volumes than One Piece.
Wow.
I mean, that to be fair though, I guess that's like they've done a lot of stuff in One Piece that's not directly related to the manga.
Yeah, they had filler bits in it and stuff.
And with Golgo 13, I don't know that the anime series itself lasted, because there was like a series and there was a movie, and as you said, there was like a live action as well, and
yeah, there's lots of stuff out there. A couple of games.
Yeah.
It
seems, something for sure.
Something. It's a thing. So I watched most of this in double the speed.
I feel like you haven't missed anything.
I felt like I haven't missed anything either. Because I watched is a good half hour. And it was a bit, and it's the bit where he got to where his informer got his throat slashed, and he finds him, and he's just like starts spinning around in his like spinny chair, and he's like woo 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 woo. And it's like, what the fuck?
Well, I think the thing is, I could probably like summarize the plot's entirety in a few sentences.
Man stares at things, people die, he goes on a rampage to kill people.
The end.
Yeah.
Well, the movie starts off with him. He's been contracted to, because Golgo 13 is a contract killer. He has been contracted to kill the son of Dawson Enterprises.
Yeah,
which is like some big oil company. Interestingly, the person he's hired to kill is called Robert Dawson. I know a Robert Dawson, so that made me laugh. And of course, like I say, there's a lot of cool stuff in this. There's a lot of reflection within the water. I actually think like he does this from the building. He shoots the shot, killing the son during this kind of handing over of power ceremony that's
On
going
a
on.
boat, right?
On a boat,
Yeah.
yeah. And he falls into the water, and we get this like reflection shot as he hits the water and goes through the surface tension, and it looks amazing. Like they've done really cool stuff, and I thought as a start I was like, actually that's really 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 interesting, and then it went downhill from there. So
Yeah. So does that, and then he's having sex with some woman, just staring at her vaguely.
well, he's there while it's happening.
Yeah, it's just happening.
It's just happening to him. He seems okay. Like I'm assuming like we're all good here. Actually, I should probably give like a vague warning. There's like a lot of like weirdly gross nudity and kind of a little bit of sexual assault.
100% sexual assault.
So if that's not your speed, like
Yeah.
totally understand. Like you should maybe check out something else that we do, something a little bit more lighthearted. But there's like this is very much time and place type thing. Like this seems like very oriented at that period of anime.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like I mean, I think the actual anime series is from the 70s, like early 70s.
Yeah.
And obviously the manga existed before that, so there's a lot of like dated views in it. Like even to an extent, like in the later 80s when Akira came out, there's definitely some stuff in that feels a little close to that, not in the same vein, but it hits a little. Not sure if that feels like that plays now. But
yeah, I suppose there is a bit of that. Oh, especially
not a lot. Like it's mostly just like ripping that woman's top off for no good reason.
Yeah, well, because it's a gang, and it was like that's the other gang's girl.
I struggle a lot with that stuff because like I it's that kind of thing of like I appreciate that kind of speaks to the culture and like the danger and the reality. But at the same time, I don't know if I want to watch that. And then I don't think it's like speaking to any like it's not authentic because it's like that and they're doing it for a certain reason. It's like no, I think they're doing it to be authentic to the characters or authentic to the scenario. And here, like it feels very much like just trying to set the character of like kind of a guy who just goes through life through the motions and does what he thinks he needs at the time. And everyone seems to love him.
Yeah.
Particularly women.
Yeah, all the women love him. Whatever reason. Anyway,
yeah, for some reason.
So that, and he does then he gets the intro, and it's all kind of jazz kind of intro.
Oh yeah, definitely strong Cowboy Bebop vibes.
There's a Dallas split, where he's like zooms in on him too. So it's like he's there, he's in the crowd, and then it splits to another bit. He's a bit closer to him. Then it splits to another bit, and it's quite closer. And then it splits to another one, and it's like right in his face. And it's like, okay, that's the thing. And he's got his informant who can give him the tools and stuff.
His informant who just walks in and sits down while he's having sex, and he's like, "Hey, here's the things. Anyway, I'll see myself out. Can you give me the money? Thanks for that. Anyway, bye."
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, come on in.
Yeah. So he gets hired for another job to kill.
He does the mafia job, is it? Dr. Z?
Kill Dr. Z, yeah. So he gets hired for that. And
he ends up deciding, this immediately goes to him then sleeping with the daughter of Dr. Z because, why not?
That's the only way to get in. But it's even though that she knows everything about him already, she's just hi, Duke. Welcome. Come here.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Come on. Hi, Golgo 13, the professional. Please come into my abode.
And
not a euphemism.
And then so he has that. And then I think she gets a phone call from her locker saying, "No, father, no, it can't be, no." All right. And then he leaves her at that point. But then
he does.
And then he's riding the horse with her.
Yeah.
And then she goes, "Ha, see ya." And then like this car comes up, and then he basically hides behind the horse, and which gets shot up by all the bullets, and he escapes and kills everyone. because he's that good.
Because he's
Because he's
Golgo.
Golgo. And then he skips back to the room, looks at the telephone, and aha,
This telephone isn't
yeah.
connected. This is a fake.
So it's you all along. As she walks back in the room.
You're actually Dr. Z. And it's like, wow, I didn't think that, like, there was nothing to lead to that, but okay, this weird montage of horse riding and sex has just had nothing to do with
I don't
anything.
remember
Okay.
but yeah.
Well, it's like it's not like any cohesive flow to these scenes. It's just them having sex or riding horses, and then someone dies.
Yeah.
So.
So then she, I don't know. I just remember them being in the car. He's getting shot up on the beach. I think he kills her.
Yeah, and that looked cool. Yeah. Oh yeah. She rides a horse towards him and goes, "Dude."
Oh yeah.
And then he like puts a bullet right between her eyes or something. And then he gets in the car. The car gets shot to pieces. What? The car's in the water, and it's this really cool scene again, like showing the reflection of the car as the waves are crashing. The bullets are smashing through. You can see the car reacting to all the shots. It's awesome.
Yeah.
And then it blows up, and you're like, wow, it's gonna be tough for Duke Togo to get out of that one. It's like, oh no, he was just like not in the car anymore.
And he's swimming away.
He's just swimming away. Cool.
All
okay.
Right.
Sweet.
I think at this point, this is where his informant gets killed, and he just gets into.
Yeah, that was the U.S. Special Forces that were after him at that point. I think.
Yeah, because they had the.
That wasn't the mafia crowd. He dealt with them, and now like the CIA, FBI, and all the other acronyms and the Pentagon were all after him.
Yeah, and it's like the guy has a circle and some other random weapons to attack him.
Yeah, and they like cut his back.
Yeah,
and like tried and he's having none of it.
He gets out of that. Yeah, finds a guy spinning, and he goes, Duke, there's a bigger organization after you. So what's you did?
And it's because you killed that guy's son.
You didn't know that.
No, I know. It's kind of obvious though.
Is it from there?
Yeah, that much is obvious. I don't know if anything else is obvious.
He's not even part of the ploy yet. It hasn't even come.
No, but it doesn't have to be. Like there can be no, like, if that wasn't why, that would have been weirder.
I mean, there's a lot of weird shit that's happened in the first half hour of this.
I mean, yeah,
there's no logical connection.
Fucking weird movie. Then he goes to kill a Holocaust survivor. Jesus God.
Oh, he does? Oh, you get hired to. No. A Holocaust survivor hires him.
No, sorry, he hires him. Sorry, no, you're right. He kills the ex-Nazi. The ex-Nazi.
And the CIA and the Pentagon and all the others know that he's going to do it. And they're like, they got this building, and this other one. He potentially could do it.
Oh.
But that's impossible.
They're showing it's like, show me everything.
And that's impossible because there's a building in the way from this location. Why didn't he just fire from the building that was in the way?
I don't know, man.
Rather than
well, first, like, the other thing is we get another sex scene, because why not? Is he goes to see his other like tech specialist called Rita, who's an American woman in her late 20s.
29.
And she's like, I don't really want any money from you. 29, yeah. And she's like, I just want to have sex with you.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay.
And then he pays her some money anyway. And she's like, what do you think? This wasn't a transaction. I'm not that type of woman.
And he's like, no, I'm doing it because you're good at your job. And it's like, oh, cool. And he's like, but you should get out of town because things are about to get weirder, apparently.
Yeah. So yeah.
Oh wait, have we had Snake yet? Snake's the guy that kills
the other guy,
the informant, right?
The original.
Snake is a weird guy who's animated in a way that I did not agree with me.
Elongated limbs.
It's mostly because it's like how would you animate this guy? It's like, well, like a snake, and it's like, well, but okay. And the way they've animated him is, what if the guy just didn't have bones?
Oh yeah. Oh, and don't forget the. Oh no, I'm just thinking of Simpsons.
I wish I had no
No,
bones. No, wait, what?
s-
Oh, like
snake.
Snake from The
Yeah.
Simpsons. Oh,
Oh, yeah.
boy.
Yeah. No, but then he had the snake fight off the other guys and kill them. It's like, oh, I got a
Yeah.
guy. Come here into this hangar. Where is he? He just jumps in and like straight up
No, he sort of
slides.
slides down the helicopter. And it's like, okay.
And then
It's so weird.
kills the Marines.
Yep, they're all dead
Yep, they're
now.
all dead. 'Cause they failed.
And then, yeah, this is the bit where, yeah, Golgo, like, manages to kill the Nazi dude by... He's, like, in bed with a lot of women, because, sure. But then they're like, hey, something's going on. We know where he is, and he's in that building that's, like, behind the other building that's in between him and the target.
Yeah.
So why would he be doing that? Like, that's weird. And it's like, oh, and then he phones someone. He's like, quickly, tell me about this floor. This is what's on this floor. Okay, tell me if I can get a clean view from this floor of this building to that view of that building with this building. It's like, why is that in the schematics for this?
Yeah.
Because they have an answer.
Yeah, why didn't they realize that there was an empty floor and he just shot directly through the floor, through all the windows with this bullet?
Yep.
All the windows into the window of the other guy, which is...
And it's really cool.
Yeah.
Because the bullet hits the window of the furthest away building, and it doesn't pierce the glass immediately. It's almost like time slows down a little bit, and the bullet just winds its way, like in circles through the glass, and eventually breaks through. It's really cool.
The guy stares out.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
yeah. So he dies.
Yep.
Then the car chase.
Oh yeah, in his rally car.
Yep. His yeah, in his initial D rally car.
Yeah. He jumps over, goes off like a highway is getting built, and jumps off the edge onto the other side.
Yep.
Which is lower down, so
it does. He smashes up the underside.
Yeah,
and, still keeps going somehow.
Yeah. All the glass and everything breaks, and then he comes around the corner.
Yep.
And they basically shoot a rocket launcher at him.
Not just one, many rocket launchers.
And the car goes, and then he just kind of walks out behind, going, "I wasn't in that car, bitches." And then it goes, "Boo, boo, boo," and then they all die, and then
yep,
Baruka,
one of the Bragan, the guy from, is it the CIA? I think.
I think he's CIA. He's there, and he then runs away and gets his car, and then tries to drive him down, and then he kind of shoots him down, just lets them come closer, and then shoots him.
Yep.
And then jumps out the way, but he gets gets shot by Bragan out the window. He's like, "Oh, not quite dead."
Not yet. Please. I'm so dead.
And then he just hits the wall and goes as his car's on fire, and then he just gets off and kind of limps away because he's got shot.
Yeah.
And
then Rita dies.
Oh yeah, Rita dies from Snake.
Snake gets her.
Yeah, and Snake wants Robert's wife. It's like, I want that woman. And then Mr. Dawson.
This is weird and gross.
I think this is just to kind of reflect how much Mr. Dawson
has gone off the deep end.
Or just because he's basically deprived her and basically hands her over to Snake, and she's like, oh, because she slaps Snake initially.
She does. That's right.
And then she walks away at that point, and then she kind of gets locked in the room with him. And now she's kind of.
And then the sexual assault ensues.
Yep. And you see her life in her eyes are completely gone as well, to indicate how
she no longer cares about her life.
So
that's great.
And then she wants her daughter back, but he's like, nope.
No. I'm teaching her to shoot. You can't have her back. I need her. She's part of my plan, which is weird because she had Oh my god! Right. Okay. I could understand if you got the little girl to be part of the plan because Duke Togo might have some sort of reaction to
Yeah,
that. He doesn't know who she is, or if he does, he doesn't care.
he doesn't care. He knows who she is.
No.
Because
And then she
mm,
shoots from her teddy bear,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
misses, and then that's her out the movie.
Well, the butler gets shot because he's the
Yeah,
caretaker of
but
the thing. It's like because he
yeah,
tries
but
to. It's like how's she doing? Oh, she's getting all right. All right then. He's coming in to California or someplace or that or Florida. Oh, we should talk about the guy in the boat
the guy
in
in
the
the boat.
Amazon.
Oh, uh, yes, the Pablo.
Pablo. Yeah,
Pablo.
yeah.
That's his other
His,
informant.
his other contact, and he's there, and he's on the boat, kind of resting up, and he needed to go to Florida to get mend his wounds and that, and he makes a comment like, "I have never seen this guy scared," type thing. A man like that
And
scared.
then
Oh God, this is not good.
must be really
Yeah,
bad. Anyway,
yeah. So then he goes to Florida to get mended up.
yeah,
And
yeah,
he's just lying on the balcony or something at one point.
yeah. And then yeah, that's when the shooting
Yeah,
happens. We forgot to mention that Dawson's like says to the guys, "It's like I need you to release these like two crazy murderer guys. They're the only people they like killed everyone, and I just need
yeah,
them. They're called Gold and Silver. I need those
yeah.
guys."
And they,
And they're like, "That I don't know if that's a good idea." And then he just punches the
yeah,
dude.
and then
And he's like, "I'll tell you what's a fucking good idea or
yeah,
not."
yeah, and then he's like, 100%, 100% rule this world, man, and I will just cripple it just to get my way. So you will do what I say. I managed to get you out of these organizations and a bit to my whim. Uh,
Oh, he's
and then he does that, and they're like, "All right, okay." And that was Gold and Silver,
I
who were
guess
like some secret CIA thing where they were.
they were like soldiers in the deep state or whatever, or like sent in to like do some sort of mission that where they were the only two to survive, and they survived by nobody else being alive.
Yeah, there was like there was like 40 hitmen or something got sent in, assassins got sentenced
Yeah,
to kill 2,000 gorillas.
yeah.
Warfare,
They killed their way out of the
yeah,
jungle. Yeah, they're dead now. It's like, oh, okay,
and
so
no one else
yeah,
survived.
fair enough.
Uh,
No,
but then they came a bit too murderous and rampaging, so they got locked away. And now they're not locked away.
yes,
And then he meets up with Pablo again
yep,
to, and he was like, "I'm sorry, Duke," and he's like, "It's cool. This shit happens, man, all the time." Yeah, yeah, I know, but I'm
yeah,
sorry. Oh, by the way, it's
yeah.
the castle. You need to go to the castle.
By the way, he also has my wife and
Yeah,
kids.
that's fine.
Like,
And
okay, yeah, Duke Togo does not care
no,
about
he's
this.
indifferent to everything. So basically, Pablo has to bring a gun to try and kill him. And it's like bang. He's like, he's dead. I'm
Yep,
sorry.
bye,
Yeah, bye,
Pablo.
Pablo. And he just lands in the water in this weird, like, it's it's basically like a scrap pile, like a scrap yard right next to the river,
Yeah,
full of river water and just contaminating the entire river. That seems like ecological warfare right there.
seems like the 80s.
Well, even
Uh,
less than that.
yeah, good point.
Uh,
Well, so then he goes to the castle, uh,
mhm,
makes his way on up, and then
mhm.
like this is the bit with the helicopters, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. So he gets up so far, and then he meets Snake, and then
Yeah. And he gets into a knife fight with
yeah,
Snake
in the elevator,
in an
and he gets
elevator.
pretty beaten up, and then the helicopter.
The origin of the Captain America scene from from that Marvel movie.
The best scene in that movie. Still love that scene. It's
Pretty
just
good.
loved the bit where it's like panned out, and you see him look out the window,
Yeah,
and then he gets into the lift, and that's the
yeah,
best scene. Not the lift fight scene. Don't care about that. That's
The entry
just
into
the
it.
wee entry into it. It's like, wow, that's pretty cool. I love it. But
Nice.
the fight scene was pretty cool. But that's to be
Yeah.
expected. But so this
Yeah.
one,
So we get a stabby knife fight in the elevator.
yeah. Snake has like weird sharp string yo-yo things as well that he strings.
Like a a weird
Cheese
like
wire.
a weaponized yo-yo.
Yeah, weaponized cheese wire yo-yos thing. Anyway, so they have a fight, and then they're both getting stabbed up pretty bad,
Yep.
and then the helicopter's coming and shoot because it's a glass elevator on the outside of the building, and then they just shoot Snake
Over and over and
Oh,
over and over.
I think that's mainly down to Golgo just kind of prompting him off as a meat shield at that point.
Like he kind of like pushes him out of the way and then kind of gets out of the way and he just like
Yeah.
Like he takes like 100 rounds.
And he climbed all these stairs up this building.
Yeah.
And then this elevator is going down the way. Because that's where snakes take on down. It's like, oh man.
What a dick.
And then he gets somewhere, and then they send the twins in, and twins come in, and one's got a silver mask, and the other one's got like a golden eye and a golden glove. And they kind of like people from Running Man, essentially. Would be
a little bit Warriors, a little bit Running Man.
Yeah, it's like Arnold Schwarzenegger Running Man movie.
Yeah,
with the spandex costumes.
There's a lot of that.
Anyway, so yeah, he's kind of in the fight with them. They're beating him up.
Well, yeah, Gold like re-stabs one of his stab wounds.
Oh, he did a pinch. Just a pinch.
Yeah.
In his.
That was a lot.
And then I can't remember how they actually stopped the fight. I know.
Well, I know that he tries to stop him because it's happening, and he just kind of very slowly but efficiently smacks him in the head with the edge of his gun, with the butt of his gun, over and over and over and over.
Back of his head, yeah.
Gives
a shot him in the head.
And well, then he does shoot him.
Yeah, because he's not quite there. He's just knocked unconscious, and then kind of comes back. And he's like, ah. But I can't remember how he splits them up, because he hits the guy, silver mask person. I think he gets that somehow slices his mask, and he's kind of knocked out.
That happens and reveals his horrifically burned and scarred face.
Yeah, but that's after Gold is defeated.
Yeah,
but he's Silver's
because he's now in a rage.
Yeah, his brother is dead because they're twins. You see.
Yes.
So he's in a rage, and then he just gets shot.
Oh god, this scene is so fucking cool. No, he doesn't.
No,
he tries to Silver tries to rush him down, and Golgo goes, haha, grenade in the mouth.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's grenade in the mouth time.
It's really cool, and
and it must be like an incendiary grenade because he's just there on fire going, and it's without a head.
Yeah, just screaming. Well, his head actually falls away to the side somewhere. Yeah. We should have probably mentioned as well as actually there's a scene where Dawson releases the wife, his daughter-in-law, and she's like, you're spending a lot of time looking for Golgo 13.
Yeah.
But you know that he was hired to kill Robert, right? Why aren't you spending any time trying to deal with that?
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't really have time to talk about this.
Yeah.
Leave and never come back.
Yeah. That's it. It's like, you've a changed man since his death. Or maybe this has always been your true colour. Is what she says. And yeah, she's right. She's like, why don't you look for the guy that's actually hired him to kill Robert?
Doesn't want to hear it. Doesn't want to hear it. Well, we'll get there. We'll get there then. Because now, as we get to the top, and it's like the end of Streets of Rage 2 with Mr. X.
Yeah.
And it's Golgo 13 and Dawson in the penthouse.
I should say at this point, he basically calls everyone off after gold and silver die. He goes, "That's it.
Yeah,
No more. It's fine.
he's like, I fucked up here. You just stop.
Let's do it." Yeah, yeah. So yeah, we get to the top, and it's just him. And
he kind of does like a little speech, to Golgo about like, what's happened, and then decides, well, I need to get out of this, and just bails out the window.
yeah, he does the not it's basically Geese Howard, man. Just Geese Howard himself out the window, throws himself through the window backwards, and falls the 64 floors or whatever it is.
As he's falling, this is where we get the big reveal, because he starts to hear Robert Dawson's voice, and what it is we get is like a reading of what is Robert Dawson's suicide note, which actually, like, I actually think like as a plot device, this is not terrible. Like, I think if you had drawn this out in a way, it's like the movie has a start and an end and no real middle. It gets its start and then it gets its conclusion. And like, I think like as an intrigue, the whole idea is of course is that Robert didn't ever really want to take over from his father. He appreciated everything he's ever done for him, but he was never happy, and he's not ready to do this, but he's not brave enough to say no, and it's making him miserable. And he's also not brave enough to take his own life, so he's ordered Golgo 13 to do it for him. So it turns out Robert had organized his own assassination because he was too cowardly to tell his dad that he didn't want to take over.
Yeah. I mean,
I think that, like,
nice.
I think, like I say, as a story, I actually think that is a really interesting turn, but it's a really interesting turn that I would have liked to have led to, rather than, I don't know. It's sort of like the start of the movie is a slap with one hand and the end of it's a slap with the other, and there was not much time in between.
Yeah. Should also mention that Father Dawson doesn't actually die from falling. He dies a bullet.
Oh no, Golgo doesn't give him that. Yeah, Golgo does not let him do that. He shoots him in the head from above, and then he smashes into the ground. And the best part is they're like, well, his death was an accident. And you're like, yes, he accidentally fell onto a bullet from 60 floors up.
Oh no, its whole body just kind of like went.
Like his body was still intact.
He still saw he saw the skeleton land on his head, and it just crumples.
Yeah.
Like,
but it's the idea is like he got a bullet in the head, and they're like, yeah, it was what a terrible accident.
I mean, bullet in the head. That is a terrible accident. Have you not?
Yeah, it is. They should really find out how that accident happened.
Well, they already know. They just don't want to investigate because
they don't want to talk about it. Yeah, well, get them involved. That's a good point. Yeah, I hadn't really thought about that.
They don't. That's like, yep, that's an accident. Let's not ever talk about that ordeal again.
Ever again.
Yeah.
Well, and then we jump to the future where a little bit later, Golgo sees Laura, the wife of the deceased Robert, who is now prostituting herself out on the streets.
Mm-hmm.
And she like sees him and is like, oh, that's the guy who ruined my life.
After offering her services, so.
Oh yes.
And then he's like, wait, I know you.
Because pulls the gun out, and he's like, just walks away.
And then she does fire, but
yeah, she does.
And then it rolls credits, and you're like, huh. And then it goes back to him, and he's just walking, and it's like, oh.
Well, he does get shot. Like, he's got a bullet hole in his back.
Oh, did he?
I think so.
I think he just walks away.
Does Golgo get shot at the end of Golgo 13? Yes, Golgo 13 is shot in the back and walks away into the night.
All right. That's just how much I've paid attention to this movie.
I mean, would it really matter if he did shot or not? Let's be honest.
I mean, it's kind of like serving for him in that sense, because it was all his fault that she the way she is now.
Yeah, but it was also her husband's fault that it happened in the first
Yeah, but
place.
she can't kill a dead man twice.
She can't take it out. Or can you?
Dragon Ball. Dragon
Yeah,
Ball time.
just to mix metaphors. But yeah, that's the end of the movie.
That was the movie.
Shit.
I mean, to me, it seems it's a movie of its time. It falls to me. It's very similar to most kind of movies of that kind of genre and of that time.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know.
I can definitely draw a lot of parallels to some of the stuff I watched anime wise in the 80s, like the hyper violence and the like overt sexuality and stuff like that. It was all sort of it was a place for the taboo to be a thing.
Yeah,
it would
but
seem.
Not just that. I was thinking of live action
you're right.
movies, like I said,
yeah,
again. Like,
yeah, you're right.
I feel Bullet is kind of a similar vein. It didn't seem to have much in it.
Yeah,
if that's the one I did watch.
Well, how do you rate it then, Colin?
Had a lot of cool stuff in it. It had like nice touches, but overall there's nothing really in it. Like I say, the first half hour was just him staring like into the abyss. It's like no, it's like through everything. Sex scenes and everything. No joy in his face whatsoever. Not one bit ever. I don't know. 6 or 5. I think.
I'm gonna go with a 4.
Yeah.
I think there's like more than anything else, like, and I think that 4 is made up of like there's some really incredible cinematic experience, like cinematography in this. There's some really cool ideas and a lot of stuff that I think maybe people didn't expect from animation. It was trying to to reflect and take inspiration from a lot of live action stuff in a way, and it looked cool. I think the character is boring as anything. Like there's no, they have it. Like I appreciate that a lot of these characters are just a cipher for a story. They're not really like some, and maybe they're granted there's probably a much bigger story for Duke Togo who has a past and all that, but you're jumping in here and they give you none of that. It's literally just a remorseless killing and fucking machine, and that's it. So there's no real characterization to speak of. As I said, I think the movie is bookmarked by a really intriguing start, a really intriguing ending, and other than that, it's just some really interesting cinematography and sort of action sequences. It's not a story. It feels like a series of vignettes that don't actually relate to each other.
Yeah.
More than anything. So it's a little bit disappointing. But I think again, like I don't have any reverence for this. I never watched it when I was younger. I haven't, like, this is the first time I'm coming to it. This is my first experience of Golgo at all.
Yeah.
So like I feel like you either it hasn't aged particularly well. So I think if you have like more experience of it from a time further back, maybe it's more easy to expect or accept what it has.
Well, you don't think it aged well?
Not really. I think like some of the the use of the cinematography is fine. Like that's like really cool and really unique for the era. It's reminiscent of like I don't know, like I'm trying to think of anyone like any cinematographers or directors who use like reflection a lot in their shots and sort of splits, like a lot of split screen stuff of like action and things happening and different scenes, like loading guns or phone calls and stuff like that.
Dallas.
So, sure.
That's the Dallas intro, man.
Yeah, I guess so. But it's like I think like there's a few people who would use that as like cinematic devices as they're doing through. But I don't know. Yeah. Like maybe a 5 actually. Maybe a 4 is too harsh. But it's. I think you could do something with this that could be really, really cool. Like if I think of like modern sort of Hitman style stuff, I'm immediately drawn to John Wick, and John Wick has a soul, and as a character,
Mhm.
he is like motivations, even though he's very dry.
Mhm.
You know, he doesn't give much as a character, but I implicitly understand why he does what he does,
Mhm.
how he's good at what he does, why he's in the situation he's
He killed
in.
the dog and stole his car.
And
And then
exactly.
he went and
So
killed
like,
everyone. And then they're like, wait, you can't be doing that anymore.
but the thing is, it's what the dog represented. I mean, the dog losing the dog was hard, but it was what the dog represented.
Oh,
That was that was what it
what did
was.
it represent?
Well, it was a gift from his dead wife that arrived after she died.
Oh, was it? Was it to the right man?
So it was the last connection he
To
had
his wife.
with his dead wife. And it was like, okay, so that is like, yes, like killing the dog would have been bad, of course, but that was a bridge to that was like, no, that is the difference between I'm going to cause you some pain and I will just end everything
Yeah.
for you. And like, again, like that, to me, that was a really unique experience, John Wick. And I haven't watched the fourth one yet, but I liked the other two. Then maybe not as much as the first one, but
other
again,
two in John Wick and that is more better, kind of like it's the fights rather than the story.
yes,
Because the first one's great.
yes, the action sequences
First
are
one was
good.
great in the sense the story was like he's killed it, and everyone's like, "Oh shit, you did what, son? Oh, you're a fucking
Yep.
idiot. You're in
Yeah.
so much trouble. Oh, he's just no guy. Oh yeah, he's just no guy.
But it's that thing. It's like the second one and the third one are about the world building and sort of introducing the new concepts about what his world was before he went through that
Yeah.
journey in the first one. I don't know what the fourth one's about, but it looks really cool. So I will need to give it a watch at some point. But yeah, like I guess what I'm saying is that I think if you took like a Golgo 13 instead, it's like I'd actually really like to make a modern version of this. It's like a guy who has just lost connection to the world, who does what he does because he's good at it. And you know, like I think there's stuff you could talk about there. And even if you wanted to retell this story, I don't fundamentally think this is a dreadful story. I just think that it doesn't, it rushes itself through and it doesn't explain itself when it's doing things in certain ways. But like that start and that end, that's a really you could weave a great story in there.
Yeah,
like a really exceptional sort of thriller, action thriller type thing. And I think you could make a good job of that. So there's material here that you could work with. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's not like redemptionless or anything
No.
like that, but yeah, it just feels it's of its time. It's very visually impressive in terms of what it does, and I think like it's probably a more it's more of an exercise in like cool ways to shoot and cool ways to animate and things like that than it is like great storytelling.
yeah,
So
yeah, totally that.
but we've done it now.
Yeah, watched it. It's fine. I like I say that I appreciate the shots more this time round than what I did
Absolutely.
before. Yeah. So it's
Now we get to talk about what we do next, Colin.
What we're doing next? What have we talked about doing next? It's coming up to Christmas.
I'm looking at our calendar, and it looks as if we're on a tear of bonus episodes for the next two.
Oh yeah, well it's Christmas time. Christmas time, mistletoe and wine.
That is what you're singing. But yeah, like so you one of the things we're going to be doing.
So talk about animes of the 80s.
Well, yeah, actually, it's a good point. We're going to do a couple of special episodes. We're going to do one for Christmas, like we always do, and we're going to do one for New Year, like we always do. And this year, I think we're going to be doing the DJ Sharat Christmas special for our Christmas.
Oh yeah, that's right. We're doing that. Yeah, that's a good point.
That'll be interesting.
That will be interesting.
And we're also going to be doing a special for New Year's, and you chose the theme this year because I chose the tier listing last year.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
So what are we doing this year?
Oh, this year I just thought, New Year. It's always kind of the time when you to look to the past to start your journey in the future. It's all about your New Year resolutions and that. So I thought it'd be interesting to see our kind of like first kind of like anime that we've kind of owned.
or
Or
watched.
watched. Yep. And yeah, so we've got a couple, four animes, essentially, we're going to talk about, and just we'll talk about them, essentially. I'm going to make Steve watch the ones I've had, and he's going to make me watch the other ones with like matchsticks, popping my eyelids open, or tape over keeping my eyelids up. I know it's a hard task for me. I mean, look, can't even do it here. Ooh.
Well, so the thing is that we'll be doing that. We'll be talking about some different stuff from our time watching anime growing up, which will be good. And then, well, the interesting thing about both of those, at least the hope is, we'll be recording those in person.
Oh, yeah, live actioned, as it were.
Which is crazy. Yeah.
We've only ever done that once.
We have.
In the 4 years?
Yeah, it's nearly 4 years, man.
Oh, Jesus. Who would have thunk it?
Not me, that's for certain. I definitely didn't think we would increase the number of episodes we were releasing in that time, but here we are. Well, and then I think we've probably spoken a little bit about it before. I can't remember when we did, but we've done a lot of hard hitting stuff this year. So next year I'm gonna take a load off, and I think we'll be releasing the first episode on Patreon at least. When will that be? I'm trying to think if it'll be this side of the year or not. I think it will be. Yes, literally just before New Year.
Oh.
We'll be releasing our first episode in episode 17 on the Patreon. And we're going to be doing XL Saga, which I'm quite excited about.
Yeah. Yeah, that's I'm going to wait and see how Steve comes out the other side of that.
It's going to be a wild reaction. I've been watching more about Delicious in Dungeon, and the more I hear about it, the more interested I am. So maybe that is something we should try and cover next year at some point.
Yeah, all right, yeah. It seems light-hearted.
Yeah, we'll need to get our calendar fully planned out. We've definitely, we're very busy with we finished up Dragon Ball now, and we're going to be moving on to Dragon Ball Z, which is super cool. And we're also wrapping up our bonus episodes, moving on to XL Saga. XL Saga takes us into about March next year, and then we're going to need to look at what kind of bonus episodes we want to do, because we want to keep it a bit more lighthearted this year. So
yeah,
the only non-lighthearted, I feel like I need to get my Halloween takeover, which I'm still going to insist on. So
maybe I should just actually look into actually being proactive in my editing rather than the stuff I've put up. And then have a proper spooky Halloween thing of, I don't know, maybe your face going inverted or something, and it go whoa.
Yeah. We need to morph my face into that face of Izuzu from or whatever his name is, Pazuzu from The Exorcist.
Yeah, or something, and then this goes Steve's Halloween takeover.
That'd be pretty cool.
So
that would be.
I mean, I got 10 months essentially to do that, but will I do it in 10 months? Probably not.
Well, yeah, we're holding you to account.
Damn it.
Well, we've done it. We've gotten to the end of today's episode. So, as always, you've been listening to Who's That Anime, an anime podcast about anime, which can be found anywhere where podcasts can be found. Our home is at anchor.fm/Who's That Anime. We very much appreciate everybody who listens. If you want to support us in any way, then telling a friend about the show is a really cool way to do that. Leaving a review if you can is also a really great way to do that. If you want to help us financially in some sort of way, you can support us on our Patreon, patreon.com/Who's That Anime. We have early access to both our podcasts, to Who's That Anime and to 5 Minute Fusion, which is a journey through all of Dragon Ball. We're currently just about to start Dragon Ball Z, so that's really awesome. But you get week early releases on all those episodes through the Patreon. We have a Facebook page, facebook.com/Who's That Anime, where we post all the latest episode releases and the occasional meme. We have a Discord channel you can join. There's a link to that in the show notes. We also have a YouTube channel where Colin painstakingly puts the video versions of these together. That's at youtube.com/@Who's That Anime. And also, you can get the RSS feeds for both Who's That Anime and 5 Minute Fusion. If you like to listen to your podcast on YouTube, that's the thing you can do in there too. We occasionally like to play some games, so we have Twitch channels, Colin at twitch.tv/couchfuel and myself at twitch.tv/hailpayman. You can find archives for all of the kind of recordings and live streams from those on YouTube as well by searching for @couchfuel or @hailpayman. And that's us.
Yeah, that's us. All into the new year. All hail the new year. Oh, hail the new year. Hail.
Hail. End communication. I've been watching the Simpsons Halloween specials to celebrate the fact it's getting closer to Christmas, because I do that every year. I don't know. I don't got a lot of time during October for some reason every year. I end up watching the Halloween episodes sometime around November, and I just remember that from the President episode where he goes, end communication.
Oh Jesus. All right.
It's good stuff.
See you later, folks. Bye.
Bye. End communication.